Are you seeing any indicators militarily that the U.S. is preparing to deploy more assets to the Pacific in that theater?
I mean, that they're openly doing that. They're reconfiguring everything that is here already, and they are constantly bringing in more assets. They have begun creating entirely new military units specifically for fighting China, and they're deploying those across the region, the U.S. Marine Corps especially. The U.S. Air Force has a new doctrine where they are decentralizing their air bases, essentially. They have these main air bases, but now they are building a network of much smaller air bases. They can disperse their air power across so that China is not able to, when provoked, just fire a few missiles at one base and destroy it. They will spread the U.S. Air Force out across the entire Asia-Pacific region. A lot of these tiny islands people have never heard of that the U.S. inherited from World War II, its war in the Pacific with Japan. So these are things that they're doing right now, and they are constantly expanding this. They are increasingly involved in the Philippines. The Philippines had at one point begun working more closely with China. Finally, almost to the point where they would get modern infrastructure and catch up with the rest of ASEAN. They are extremely impoverished. They are very far behind the rest of the region. Thailand has a much smaller population, but a much larger GDP than the Philippines, just to give people a sense. And that is because the U.S. has literally colonized the Philippines following the Spanish-American War. And then since getting their independence after World War II, the U.S. has still maintained domination over its politics and its economy. And it shows. It's a destitute country that should be much further than it is. China was working with them to turn that around. The current president of the Philippines, when he came in, he turned everything around. He canceled projects. He knocked over construction projects that were already in progress. And then he took all of the resources for building infrastructure for the people actually living in the Philippines. And then he invested it in military bases for the U.S. Strategy of encircling China.